looks beautiful where you are. Are you in? Are you Colorado?
Yeah, I live in Colorado Springs, so I kind of live like in a nature type of area, so it's nice.
My aunt actually lives in Colorado Springs, so I've been there a couple times, and it's one of my favorite. Dude, Colorado is one of my favorite states, man. It is just beautiful out there.
Dude, I love it out here. I mean, I grew up in the Springs and then I moved up to Denver in like high school, so
Nice. I'm
I
ready.
moved back here. Once I had kids, I'm like this is probably a easier place to raise kids.
Oh yeah, I'm ready when you are, man.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Let's do it. And man, I never thought I would see the day that we're here to talk about the return of Drop Dead Georges. But dude, here we are. And I know you got this question a million times, but over 15 years, man, how does it feel to be back?
It's kind of, it's surreal. Like it really is. It's one of those things where when we stopped, we kind of just never even planned to stop. And we also never had any idea of like if we would ever start again. And the longer time went on in between when we stopped, like it just didn't even seem likely we ever would make music again. And
Right.
it was interesting. I think so. Like our main guitar player, Kyle Browning, he passed away a few years ago, and so before he passed away, we kind of had started to think about some type of reunion, but like logistically, we were just like, man, there's a lot of work there. You know, when you haven't played songs in 15 years, it's almost like starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Um, and sometimes even worse because like you're trying to be like, how can we play songs we played 15 years ago? Vocally, it's a whole different ball game as you get older. But I think as like once he passed, it just I think all of us were kind of just like we weren't ready to start up again for a long time because it just didn't feel right, and we are kind of
Right.
mourning that loss. But then at a certain point, we were kind of just like kind of wanting to do it a little bit for him in a way, and
Yeah.
so we kind of just I broke my ankle. And so I had like workers' comp, and I was like, I actually finally had the time to really be able to do it. And so that for me was like the ultimate thing. And me and Cooper and Jake were like, let's do it. So we we ended up doing it and like committing to a show finally. Because the thing is, once you commit, you can't turn back, right?
Right.
Once we made that commitment, we are like, it was so much work. If we hadn't made a commitment, we probably would have given up on it, honestly. But we were able to get it all together, and it was really rewarding to play that show in Denver after 15 years. And
Yeah.
um, it was better than I could have ever expected. Like, I mean, it's like my favorite show I've ever played, probably. And I don't know, man. It felt so good, and it got us like kind of lit a fire again for us. And then, we were just like, let's write some new music and play some more shows.
So who made the first call? Like who made the first move in kind of like making this a thing again?
Um, I think Cooper had, he would text me every once in a while and just kind of be like, "What do you think about a drop dead thing?" And I would always be like, "I love the idea, but I'm like, the amount of work that goes into it is going to be pretty crazy." So that was always for me a big deterrent. Um, and like I said, when I broke my ankle, I had like time just sitting around, so that kind of made me just want to go forward with it. And I'm glad I did. Like all those years, I kind of procrastinated it because I just didn't want to do all the work that it would take to get
Right.
to get my voice to like be able to scream again because I didn't scream since Drop Dead. And um after we kind of had already committed, I had started trying to do it again, and I was like, I don't even know how to do this anymore. Like literally I kind of had a panic moment. I'm like, am I gonna be able to do this or not? And after like a few months started to come back. But um yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's not really like riding a bike. It eventually, once I got over the hump, it was kind of like riding a bike, but it took a while to get my voice to want to do that again.
Gotcha. And I know that like after Drop Dead, after you guys went on hiatus, you guys all obviously did different things, but Was it a conscious effort to do a different styles of music than Drop Dead was? Was that a conscious effort back then to kind of go in another direction completely for everybody, or is that just kind of how things went?
Um, I think for all of us, we were kind of like when we stopped doing Drop Dead, it was kind of like if we wanted to keep doing that genre or style, we would have just kept doing Drop Dead.
Mhm.
And I think at the time we were just like musically and creatively, we felt like we needed to explore some other things because we had kind of run out of the creative like juice.
Yeah,
And I think doing all these other things helped us be better, like more well-rounded songwriters and be able to tap into the more melodic or electronic production things when we need to within the genre as opposed to um we we were kind of like a heavy band first and then a melodic second, you know what I mean? So I think going in a different direction with different projects kind of like honed that in better so that when we with these new songs we're able to like be more um well versed.
makes sense. And that brings us to 6 Feet, dude. It's obviously it's the first single in over 15 years. It's out. When when it was finally finished and it saw the light of day and it was finally out there to public, do you remember what the feeling was like when you saw that it had first became a public song and was done and all of us fans had really the chance to fall in love with it, digest it, like what that moment was like for you guys?
Yeah, I mean it was kind of crazy because it's when you put new music out after 15 years, you're just like you go in circles like what do we want to do? What makes sense? What are the fans gonna think? Um and you start just second guessing yourself with everything. So like eventually we were just like, let's do what's authentic to us because trying to do what like the fans want or this or that or what we think they want isn't going to be as authentic as just doing what we want to do naturally and try our best to incorporate like the roots of Drop Dead, which is what 6 Feet ended up being.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, like it was weird, man. Every time I put new music out with any project, it's always nerve-wracking because it's done. Like you got to let it go. There's no more
yeah,
changes. There's nothing else you can do, and you're kind of like, man, I hope people like it, or um,
yeah,
and so it's always like that. And I think that some people kind of expected it because of previous like projects in between Drop Dead that were like poppier. And then some people I think maybe just didn't really expect it as much because they hadn't listened to the other projects. Um, so it was interesting seeing the different responses, and
yeah,
luckily like everyone was real positive, and
yeah.
um,
we're
so
and
that's
we're
kind of the
just
best you can hope for.
well, we're just over a year since you guys made the Instagram post that something is coming. That was in July of 2024. That things started going public. Were you, but like immediately, fans just like they remembered and they still cared and they were super pumped from the beginning of that first teaser. Um, were you guys surprised at the outpouring of just like how crazy fans went when they saw that you guys were coming back? Because I mean,
Yeah,
15 years
honestly,
is a long time, man, especially in music. Like,
I know. And I feel like it's accelerated as time has gone by too. There's just more volume of music that comes out compared to
yeah,
even 15 years ago. So we were definitely surprised. Like we knew there'd probably be some diehard fans out there still, but I mean, it was cool. It was like and it was kind of like we never left, and that was
yeah,
really awesome. And in some cases it was almost like people were more enthusiastic than when we decided to take a hiatus. So
yeah,
that was kind of cool. Sometimes, you just got to give it a rest for a little bit, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
uh, the 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 music industry and the genre has changed so much since we left that like people are, I feel like a lot more open-minded than they used to be
Oh yeah.
to like genre bending type of stuff. And so I feel like there's really nothing off limits in the heavy genre anymore, which is pretty cool.
Hmm.
Um, when we left, I feel like there were certain things you kind of couldn't do. It was going to be pretty hard to pull off.
Yeah.
Now it's like you can literally do whatever you want, and
Yeah,
You
I
know,
remember.
within the span of one song, you can go like really poppy to like extremely heavy to anything in between. And that's pretty liberating as a songwriter, and technology is better. So like if you have the idea, you can make it happen, so
I remember 2010 was such a weird time in heavy music. Like you said, back in 2010, which is hard to believe that's been 15 years now. It is almost like depressing that it's been that's was 15 years ago.
yeah,
But I just remember 2010 fans were super honestly closed-minded, like you said. But then fast forward to now, and I mean, you got like bands like Bless the Fall, one of their last records that they released a few years ago was a lot of very melodic, very it was a
mhm,
lot softer than we had heard from them, and fans still loved it. Like there was none of that. What the fuck are they doing? This isn't like fans were like, this is really fucking good, you
yeah,
know. So uh, I feel like 2025, like you said, fans are so much more open minded and much more accepting. Um, and it's just a completely different music industry now. You know,
it is.
it's weird.
It's really weird, and it kind of like put into perspective thinking about it, like with two birds, one stone. That was the only song on the Hot and Heavy that was as like sing heavy and melodic, and it's crazy that it like people liked it at all back then when it came out. And looking back at it now it would make total sense. It wouldn't be a weird move, but
Yeah,
at the time, I mean, we didn't even think that much back then. But if we were if we were thinking like we think now, we probably would have been like afraid to put it out because like the
yeah,
backlash or this and that. And it was interesting. Like we were kind of afraid to put it out back then a little bit, but we're just like, hey, it's a pretty cool song. And um it ended up being, the song that people actually responded the most to, which was kind of crazy. And
yeah.
so that was always a thought, like with new music, was like, well, everyone likes our heavier stuff, but then we're like, well, everyone actually really likes Two Birds, One Stone. And so it's kind of like a tug of war. Like, do we want to be heavy? Do we want to be poppy? So we're kind of like, let's do both. And the new songs we just worked on like a week ago are definitely that. Like I feel like we really honed that sound in that we're looking for.
Let's talk about the video, man. The 6 feet video. First off, like, dude, what they do to that girl in that video is like they they fuck that girl. It's fucked up what they do to that girl in the video, but she gets hers in the end.
Yeah.
But whose idea was it to shoot it in to do the video in reverse? Because it's a
That was
really cool
Roscoe.
concept.
Yeah, that was Roscoe, man. We've worked with him on 888 videos in the past, and he's such a good storyteller. And he always comes up with these like left field ideas, and that was all him, man. Like just the reverse thing, the whole AI thing. Um, Man, we just loved it. Like it kind of just he always takes like we send him lyrics for a song, and he just like interprets them in a way different way than I would have ever imagined, and I just love it. Like he's super creative. He's from the Denver area, so we kind of know him. Um,
Right.
and he was super excited when we sent him like the demo, and he's like, "Dude, yes, let's go." And he had a treatment within like a couple hours. He
Holy
works like
shit!
that. So yeah, he's really
Wow.
good.
I thought you were gonna say like a couple weeks or, but like, goddamn, couple of out. Jesus.
Yeah, he's
Um,
always back within a few hours or a day max. Like he's so creative with that stuff.
um, seeing the final product of the video, it's a bloody video for one. Like, and the just the thumbnail of it captures you for right away. You're like, what is this? But like,
Yeah.
um, seeing the final project of the video, just like where you guys are looped in with your performing of the song at just like the perfect moments in that video. When you guys saw the final product of that video, man, what was going through your mind?
I mean, it was crazy because we literally like we were in the middle, we were playing some shows in California, so like we had a show at Chain Reaction like that day. And like we had driven from San Diego the night before. We rolled in late. We literally ran in there, threw those jumpsuits on and tracked or like videoed, the live performances, and we had to leave. We didn't get to see all the cool stuff. We were bummed because we wanted to see everything.
Right.
Um, so it was kind of cool seeing it afterwards because we had no idea what was really coming. We had seen the treatment, and um, it's always different when you actually see the real video, and it was just really cool because the original version we saw didn't have all the special effects, so it didn't have nearly as much blood. And we were like, yes, add as much as you possibly can, like to the point where it's like insane. And so that's pretty much what they did, man. It was really cool. It was like this really nice mansion and like, you know, somewhere in the hills, and the view was crazy. I don't know if you can really see the view that great in the video, but man, it was like a really nice house, and it's
Yeah,
kind of like the contrast of like the setting of the awesome, clean, beautiful setting mixed with like the crazy gory horror thing was really cool. And then like the twist at the end too, to like show that this person was actually just, defending themselves or responding, like
yeah.
a revenge redemption type of scenario was pretty cool.
Yeah, it reminds me of the, I don't know if I'm big into horror. It reminds me of the horror movie Ready or Not, where the girl marries into the rich, like, board game tycoon empire family. And, like, the whole movie, they're trying to kill her because that's the
Yeah.
game that she drew. And she's the
Yeah.
victim the whole time. And in the end, it's just perfect revenge. It really reminds me of that. And the whole time you're watching it, you don't realize what this actually, the story that's actually being told. And then at the end, it's just like you said, it's like, holy shit, that's what this was. Like, dude, it's so fucking well done, man. You guys, just everybody on board killed it with that video and the song, man. It's just good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of has like I don't know if you've watched White Lotus, but they kind of do
I
somewhat
have
of a
not
similar
seen
thing.
that yet.
It's really good. Like they'll usually start with like the ending a little bit, but they're real vague about it, but then they kind of go backwards and then you're
Huh.
kind of like, how did that happen? Like,
Okay.
you know. Um,
Thanks.
but I love stuff like that. That's always my favorite because it's like a clue, like you're hunting.
Right. Yeah, I gotta ask, how's it feel? How does it feel to be back with Artery?
Oh, that's also crazy. I think that's the craziest thing of all this, in all honesty. The fact that Eric kind of wanted to do this around the same time we wanted to do it is just like such a crazy like coincidence and like a weird like wink from the universe or something. I don't even know, but it's really cool because he's having the same nostalgic feeling that we're having, and it's really fun because like we were one of his very first bands that he managed, and we're kind of like going through all this down memory lane all over again, and it's fun, man. Like we just feel like way older now. Like we sent Eric the production bounces of what we just did, and he was just kind of like, my boys are finally grown up. So
That's so
because
awesome.
yeah, when we met him, like I was 18, we were all 18, or some of us were 18 and some were 15. So like we were kids, and now like 15 years later, it's kind of crazy.
Do you remember the feeling that you remember what the feeling was like for you when you and maybe even the rest of the guys in the band were walking on stage for that first show back, the lights go down and it's here. You remember what that was like for you guys?
I remember what it was like for me. I was real nervous. Like it kind of hit me like about like an hour before the set. I was like, this is really gonna happen, man. Like I have not done this in a long time. Like probably the most nervous I've ever been, like like probably ever for a show. And like the second I was on there after like 30 seconds, it was fine. But yeah, I had major nerves, man. And we had some technical stuff go down. So it was just like the
Of
first like
course.
song. Once we got through the first song, I was feeling it. But man, it was crazy. I had to call one of my best friends and like have him like really talk me off a cliff a little bit and pep me up,
Well,
because I was
been
real nervous.
it's been a long time, you know. So but man, just the amount of support from the fans, is just it's unreal. Like you said, it's in some ways it's like you guys never left, but you're back at the same, you know what I mean? But back at the same time. You guys
Yeah.
have more shows coming up, man. I saw you guys got some stuff coming up with Bless the Fall, right?
Yeah.
Um, this fall, man, you guys are gonna be on some legit some big tours, some big shows, more stuff coming, man. You said you guys have been working on more music, so I guess what's the rest of 2025 look like for you?
Rest of 2025. I mean, we're kind of like through October, everything was kind of booked, and I mean, we'll see what happens in November, maybe December. There's not a lot that goes on in December, so
Yeah,
um we'll have to see. We're kind of playing the Weekend Warrior thing, like just playing like
Mhm.
weekend shows with bands that we're friends with or buddies or just fun shows, some festival stuff potentially. Um, Probably looking at a pretty big 2026 with a lot of
Nice.
festivals and everything with some new music coming out. Um, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like Bless the Fall, like our first show we ever played with them was like we exchanged CD release shows or EP release shows, and now we're playing like some of our first comeback shows with them again, which is kind of funny.
It's just full
Um,
circle. There's a lot of full
yeah,
circle going on right now, which is poetic.
yeah, it is, man. Like I could have never imagined like 15 years later playing shows like these, and actually, just the amount of enjoyment that we have and the fans have is really awesome. Like seeing our fans that like are grown up now that have kids is wild to me. It's insane.
Yeah,
Um, a lot of our fans were like 15 or something like when we first came out, and now they're like grown adults. It's really pretty crazy to see that.
you can imagine what that would be like, man. That's just yeah. My daughter just turned 13, so when you guys were still going, she wasn't even alive at the time.
Yeah,
So it's so weird, but
it's
dude,
crazy.
it is so good to have you guys back. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for the music. Thank you for 6 feet. And dude, good luck on everything else that's coming your guys' way. You guys deserve it. You've earned it, and it's good to have you guys back.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. Thanks for having us. And yeah, man, just so thankful for all the fans support and everything. And we got some new music coming out soon that we're just so excited to share with everybody.